Oh, uh, hey, Huoshan Hunters Guild. Yeah,
Nailed the intro.
Woo!
perfect.
I'm gonna mute myself because I need to sleep.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Huoshan Hunters Guild. This week we are tackling the solo session for Wyoming, the second of three solo sessions before the finale of the first half. So, when last we saw Wyoming, he was with the majority of the group giving the rundown on the past events that had happened between the trip into hell, the discovery of the heart of Huoshan, and other previous information about the Phonum Pantheon. When he left, he was met by a member of the Herd of Heaven, which was revealed to be his own father. Father asked him if they had someone somewhere private to talk, and they walked off to wherever that is, and that is where we are starting. So, Wyoming, where are you taking your father?
Well, first he's gonna stop and turn around and ask, now, how long exactly is this gonna take? How far away are we going?
Well, he's under the impression that you're leading him somewhere to talk privately.
Yeah, I'm talking about the mission. He just wants to know that before he goes there.
He he puts a hoof over his mouth and kind of contemplating. Well, it'll probably take a little while to explain everything.
Um, I'm just asking for hours, days.
2, maybe 3. I really couldn't give you a real estimate.
And that's hours?
Days.
Days.
If you don't want to help me, I completely understand. I know I haven't really been there to support you in anything.
I do. There was just something I was gonna do today.
I understand.
I
Well,
can probably take care of it really quick.
understood. I can. Well, I could wait if you need to take care of it now.
Okay. Wyoming, he was going to take him to the barracks, so he'll just give him directions to that
All right,
if he wants to get going.
you will.
And then he's going to go back to the meeting room
All right,
and try to intercept Bao.
Bao, you are intercepted. Bao, unmute yourself.
I was getting my mic back together.
So yeah, while you are still, would you still be in the meeting room
Uh,
after everything that happened?
Probably if the meeting just happened.
Yeah, it just happened. Everyone dispersed, and yeah. So around this time, everyone would have just dispersed. Lucas would have just went off to do his thing, and so yeah, Wyoming. Yeah, you do find her in the meeting room.
Hey, Bao. I was out shopping earlier and I got something for you that I think will help.
Wyoming, you didn't have to get me anything like that.
Yeah, but I wanted to. Kind of unfortunate timing with us leaving hell and the desert and Huoshan and everything now, but it should help you stay for a little longer here. He pulls a long white scarf looking thing out of his bag.
What is this? Hello?
Wyoming pauses as he pulls out the receipt.
In case we need to return.
Something called a keffia.
Uh,
And let me just show you how to put it on. He wraps it around her head. And as he does, she suddenly stops. She feels cool, as if it was a comfortable temperature for her.
There we go. Oh yeah, that.
Oh, Kefi. It's
Yeah, I'll
Like
just send it to Thais too.
it's
Yeah.
I've heard it called a shamag before, not whatever this word is. Same thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just endure elements for hot environments.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Wyoming, this is perfect. Thank you.
Bao is speechless.
Wait, did I cut out?
Yeah, you cut
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
At this.
Wyoming, this is perfect. Where did you get this?
Well, I was gonna get it in the desert, but then we didn't end up there, so I found it around Huoshan.
Oh, well, you have no idea how nice this finally is. If only witches could learn endure elements.
Well, you're welcome then. And so my dad showed up, and I'm going on a mission for a few days. I hope to spend a little more time on this, but I don't really want to keep him waiting. So when I get back, do you want to go on a date with me?
You know what? I think I'd like that.
Oh, great, thanks. Well, still kind of awkward. But I'll see you then.
I'll look forward to it.
What a fucking guy.
What a guy.
I know, right? Yeah. So he gives her a hug and walks off.
That was amazing. All right.
And he's gonna go to the barracks, try and catch up with his dad.
All right. So as you get there, you see your father's just kind of hanging outside the barracks. He seems to be reading something intently.
What you looking at, Pa?
Huh? Oh, he quickly rolls it up and pockets it. Nothing. It's well, it's actually why I'm here.
All right. Well, let's go in. I think everyone's off doing their own thing, so our room should be empty. And he leads his father into their room.
All right. So as you get in there, he takes a seat.
Well, he takes a moment to look around. He rubs his hoof along the table and grabs a clump of dirt from Lucas's hole.
So for a few moments, he's silent. You see him just trying to come up with the perfect words, and finally he begins speaking. Something isn't right in the herd of heaven.
You don't say. Well,
It's,
really, I'm happy to hear you say that.
it's it's never really bothered me though. Not not until recently.
Well, what happened recently?
I saw someone who was supposed to be dead. Uh, It'll be easy if I explain. The herd of heaven has a sort of hierarchy, like an order of a status, so to say. There's we have our standard soldiers. We call them paladins. Of course, not everyone is a paladin, but we just call them that. And then there are the Templars, which what I am. We are the equivalent to your of Huoshan's captain of the royal guards and all that. After that, we have our High Templars, we have our Dukes, and finally, we have our leaders at the top, the Archdukes.
Right.
There's only one problem. There's really only ever one Archduke at any time, and the only time they're changed is when one is killed or dies or retires. Well,
He finally takes a seat, motions for him to continue.
last month when I was coming back from a mission, I heard odd noises coming from our current Archduke Archduke W. And I was curious, and when I entered, I saw two. Maybe the Herd of Heaven doesn't believe in raising dead. Anyways, I saw two of our previous archdukes conversing. I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear much, but I heard something about uh, some kind of assassination plot. After that, things started feeling out of place. Certain rules and regulations, certain laws. Did you know, in the Herd of Heaven, the worship is Faust is discreet is banned?
No, I didn't know that.
It's an
Hmm.
odd rule. I didn't give it much
Yeah.
thought. After all, Faust. Every tome in the Herd of Heaven depicts Faust as a villain, the creator Ultima who caused a widespread devastation 1,000 years ago. And when we find worshippers of Faust, we are to, well, try them and then banish them from the herd. And it never bothered me until just a little while ago. We heard a rumor. We all passed it off as blessed. We heard that honored mother and honored father were walking the land again.
Well, it's true. I've met both of them. The honored father was just today, really.
Hmm. Well, this is why I needed to come to you. Because I can't trust anyone in the herd. Not at the moment. I want to get to them of things. I may just be paranoid. Hell, I may just be having a crisis of faith. But I need to know. I at least need to know that if I'm wrong, at least I know I'm wrong. And I can put this behind me.
Well, what do you plan on doing?
I know where there are still some worshippers of Faust amongst the herd of heaven. I was gonna come recruit you and then recruit them. And then I was going to go to where we bury the archdukes. When I overheard them, I overheard something about about the grave site. Something about that's where this will begin. If the archdukes are up to something, and it's against the herd of heaven, it's my duty to stop it.
There's a lot I want to tell you, but I think it might be best to wait until after we see this through. But I would be happy to help.
Thank you. I'd like to leave as soon as possible, but if you have anything you need to do.
Yeah,
Any
talking about was really the only thing I had to do. So I'm ready.
I see. Well, in that case, let us go.
All right. Well, we'll lead him out to the barracks and then let him take the way from there.
All right. So, as you leave the barracks, he begins walking out of Huoshan. And you actually see he has a vehicle of sorts. It is a short, like a small 2-passenger carriage.
Oh, nice. I'm glad we don't have to walk the whole way.
Yes, it would. It would take a little while. Much longer if we were going to be walking from here to the prairie. With this, we should reach our destination within just a few short days. He gets into the vehicle.
About the prairie, it seems like you've kind of taken it over since we were back over a little since we were chased out.
The Herd of Heaven is the prairie has always been our territory. The Herd of Heaven started there, and well, we've always enjoyed a little piece of it, but recently, in the past few years, we've started expanding. Again, it's another thing that never bothered me until now. I don't understand what the point of the expansion is.
Where have you been expanding?
We've been expanding closer to rain. And slowly closer to Huoshan.
I can kind of get rain since that's where all the cultists are.
He nods.
But yeah, pushing against Woshan.
The higher ups tell me that the guild can't be trusted because they work with a blasphemer like Flag.
Well, let's just say not anymore.
I see. Let us go. We have much ahead of us.
Right.
The two of you get into the vehicle and begin driving away. The vehicle is pretty fast. Going maybe about 200 feet per round. So the drive is for the most part uninteresting. Nothing really happens, and for the most part, your father is silent. After about a day's worth of travel, you find yourselves parked outside a small village. This is just outside the Heavens territory. And here we know that there is a small group of people who worship Faust. We've gotten rumors that Arizona used to be among them before she joined the guild.
I see. She does still worship Faust.
I see. He gets out of the vehicle and he goes to the back, opening a compartment of sorts, and he actually begins gearing up as if he's getting ready for a fight. You actually see what he puts on is like, it is really close to like actual like Templar armor. You see him equip a shield, but no weapon, no sword, no hammer.
Uh, Wyoming probably doesn't take much more of a passing interest in that. He doesn't really use a weapon either.
Yep. All right. Well, it's gonna. He equips his shield and he goes, "All right, let's go.
Alright.
Be prepared for a fight if worst comes to worst."
Well, I hope not, but I usually am.
He nods and he begins making his way into the village. The
And
village
Wyoming
is Right.
enters alongside him.
Right. The village, as you enter, seems to be pretty lively. However, the moment they all get a look at your father, they immediately run into the indoors. The village is quickly deserted. Well,
Hmm.
father just kind of sighs.
At least they aren't attacking us, I guess. So, you know where the leader of this place is?
There are always signs. You just have to know what to look for. Worshippers of Faust. He pauses as you see him just kind of like walking along the side of the houses, just kind of examining them. Worshippers of Faust have their own sort of hidden code and language, so that only they know where these hideouts are. We've managed to pick up on these languages. He pauses for a moment. Not exactly in the best of ways, but we did.
Well, hopefully we can use it for some good now.
He nods. After going through a couple more houses, he finally spots something. Right there. It's a... He points to a sign on one of the sides of the houses. It's a crude crude chalk drawing of like a white sun with an arrow pointing that way, pointing in the same direction.
Uh, yeah, I think I see where this is going.
He begins following it, leading into an alleyway of sorts. They all tend to keep themselves as hidden as possible. Most
Not
of the
much
Herd of
for
Heaven's teachings are rather widespread.
not much for decoration then.
Yes, they like to be as discreet as possible. see him look. The alleyway comes to like a small fork in the road, a space between four houses. You see him look to the right, and he goes, "This way." He begins walking down to where the crude thing on the wall in what seems to be just gibberish, just lines. This is their secret language. It, to most, it looks like graffiti, but if you know what it means, then you know where to go.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about this. So, do you know what it says?
Yes. Let's see. 100 feet, edge of city. Uh, breathe in. Her light is the password.
Is that it?
That's it.
Hmm.
So, edge of the city. Does that mean? Hmm. This alleyway doesn't go all the way to the edge of the city. We may need to look for another marker.
Uh, there's a lot of places 100 feet from the edge of the city could be. Yeah.
All right. Oh, I never gave his. I never gave him. There we go. All right. As you walk out of the city, make a perception to gather information on where another marker is. Your father suggests that they temporarily split for a moment to find the other marker. Then, after about 30 minutes of searching, oh my fucking god. Some jackass just everyone in the channel 10 times.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm leaving that shit. Anyways, yeah. He says look look for another marker and then meet
All
back
right.
at the end of this alleyway within 30 minutes.
All right. Wyoming nods and splits off.
All right. He's going to make a perception roll. Zone. All right. Two of you begin searching. As you're exploring and looking around for it, you notice that as you do, you see every villager just kind of poking out from windows, just kind of watching you, not really doing anything. Um, what's your what's your AC?
Regular is 36. Flat-footed
Yeah.
would be 29.
Alright. You feel someone try to throw a rock at you. It just kind of bounces off. You just some old looking cat, and he goes, "Yeah, you get out of here, you dang Templars. We don't want no trouble around here."
We ain't here for trouble. I'm not really a Templar, even though my father is one.
Mm,
We're just
Can't,
trying to talk to your leader.
mm, you can't trust them herd. Oh, I'm telling you, they're all evil. Took my grandson. Never saw him again.
I'm real sorry about that. I agree with you, but my father is trying to figure out the truth of what's going on with the herd right now.
Mm. He just kind of just grumbles.
I have a better idea than him, but I want him to see for myself because it does sound kind of crazy.
Mm. He just,
Just give us a chance.
yeah. He just walks back into his house.
Yeah. Wyoming sighs and keeps searching.
All right. Towards the end of the 30 minutes, you pass by what seems to be a general goods store, and then a very tip, almost underneath like a drain, you see another one of the uh crude white suns pointing in a direction towards what seems to be mm, seems to be like some kind of ballroom. Very not elegant, but definitely stands out amongst the regular wooden buildings. It's a large building made out of rather exquisite stone.
All right. Well, he's. Hmm. He'll look for a little bit to see if he finds any messages.
All right, make me another perception.
Okay. Well, then, yeah.
All right. Well, you do not find any messages.
All right. Well, kind of just, well, let's say he's been kind of tracing his path in his
Mm-hmm.
notebook.
All right.
And he'll just head back.
All right. Shortly after you arrive back at the alleyway, your father returned as well. Did you find anything?
I did actually. Well, I found a sign, but I didn't find any more writing it led to. It was by the general store, leading to some ballroom.
Yeah. Ah, yes. On my way back, I spotted it as well. I didn't see any messages either, so perhaps breathe in her light may be the only password. We'll see as we get closer.
All right, well, good. Then we can just both head there.
All right. The two of you make your way to the ballroom, and as you enter, you find yourselves in a hallway. The first thing you see is another crudely drawn white sun leading to the left.
Wyoming glances at Wisconsin and heads that way.
All right. You begin walking that way. There doesn't seem to be any forks in the road. Or at least any that there aren't any crudely drawn suns to tell you to go that way. Eventually, you are led um, to a pair of double doors with a small door to the left. There's one more white sun drawing pointing towards the door.
I think this is probably it. You ready?
Yes.
Wyoming nods and pushes the door open.
All right. The door opens, revealing a stairs going downwards.
Yeah.
The two of you begin going down the stairs, leading into one final door with one of those little like window sliders.
Wyoming knocks on the door.
You see your father just kind of slink away from the door so he can't be seen. The slide opens. You see a pair of eyes, but no one no response. They're just looking at you. What's the password?
Out of character, I kind of forgot because I thought I'd have to say it in the language, and I don't know the language.
Look, I know what everyone thinks. Just because it's some kind of oddly written language, we have an odd way to say it. We don't. Just know the password, speak the password. Otherwise, beat it.
I'll be right back.
Just gets shut.
He goes. He goes and finds Wisconsin.
He just kind of whispers, "What are
Pretty
you
sure
doing?"
I remembered it. I'm pretty sure I remembered it, but I just wanted to double check. What was it again?
Breathe in her light.
Okay, thanks. Sorry. He goes back to the door and knocks again. Bathe in
What?
her light.
You you hear Wisconsin whisper to you, breathe, breathe.
Breathe. Whatever. All right.
Right. Well, as you say it the second time, the slide closes. You hear a series of locks unlatching. And he finally opens the door. Welcome, my wayward brother.
Yeah.
As he
I mean,
opens the
that's
door,
pretty-
as he opens the door to welcome you, you see Wisconsin's hoof grab the door and just force it open. To which the person, the kettle on the other side, just just gets completely wide-eyed and is like, "Oh, by the light, it's a Templar!"
Wait. Let's all just calm down.
They all just like completely back away. They're getting into a defensive pose, ready to fight. Wisconsin walks into the room. We need to have a discussion. Now, I'm not here to fight any of you, but make no mistake, make one wrong move, and I will see to it each and every one of your teeth will be lying on the floor. Do I make myself clear? They all just kind of slowly nod. Good. Now, you're going to tell me every rumor you know about the herd of heaven. The good and the bad. What the hell does a Templar want about rumors? You don't deal in rumors. This one does now. We we heard rumor. Herd of heaven is dealing with the cult. What do you mean dealing? Sending information. Scouts investigate guild. Send a cult. Tell me what you know about the pantheon of gods. Phonum pantheon. Not real. It's not real. Do you know how old the first tomes of the pantheon are? At least 600 years old. Exactly. 600 years old. Did you know what the era before that was called? It was called Godless Crusade. 400 years after war, no gods in Phonum. Then out of the blue, Pantheon is made. It is lie. Lie made by someone long time ago in a coup for power. Wyoming's father is silent.
Wyoming is holding his tongue, just kind of taking a few notes to fill things in here and there.
I've come for your assistance. Ha! A Templar wanting assistance from a... What do you call us? Devil-worshipping vagabonds? Something is going on. And I need your help to figure it out. What kind of things? Let me take a guess. You're seeing archdukes walk among the living again? How do you know that? You act like this is new thing. We've seen it before many times. Archdukes don't die. And if they do, don't stay dead for long. The herd of heaven is run by corrupt ungulates. We know who they worship. They worship powerful monstrosities that cannot be named.
So, would you be willing to help one member of the herd of heaven see the truth for themselves?
If he sees truth, his feeble faith will shatter. I will enjoy that moment.
So you'll help then.
We shall. But make no mistake. No allies. We do this, you disappear. Understood. Then we go prepare for fight. You see the herd of the worshippers of Faust, totaling about 8 in this room, walk out of the room, leaving only you and your father. He's just silent, contemplating everything.
Say it does turn out that it does turn out that there's some truth in what they're saying, I hope you'll come back with me instead of anything else.
20 years ago, when the predators attacked, and I lost your brother, I was so distraught. I had nowhere to go. I was lost. And then a Templar gave me a book. About Ariel, the shining light. I must have read that book 100 times by now. I don't know if you can understand, but dedicated 20 years of my life to the herd of heaven and the gods I worship. Now you're telling me they're all fake? I don't know if I can handle that.
Something happened to me that I don't know. I don't know if I can handle either. I'm still working through it. It was just today, really, that I found out. No, it was yesterday. But that's, well, we can help each other. And there are other people too. You don't have to take it all on yourself. But I'm
It's just,
I'm so sorry about my brother.
it's
I I wish I hadn't gone after him.
no, it's nothing to apologize for. You did what you thought was best. I can't blame you for that. It's that's one of her teachings. One of Ariel's teachings is to always show forgiveness in the worst of times.
Well, even if you abandon the god, you don't have to necessarily abandon the teachings. It sounds like there was good in there. And I, I heard about mom too. Uh, I'm sorry I wasn't there.
You know, it's not just me. There are we just got new recruits a month ago. Bright-eyed, happy-faced. The kids. Not even not even really adults yet. They're just recruits. They're all so damn passionate about joining this war and joining the herd and fighting the predators and the gods and God. I don't know how, if this all turned out to be true, I can't imagine telling anyone the entire herd of heaven is just built on lies. I doubt anyone would believe me.
I kind of doubted even you would believe me. So that's why I've been holding off. And I'm still gonna do it until you see everything. But I want to save as many as possible.
I do too. Let us take care of this quickly.
Wyoming nods.
All right, the two of you begin walking back up and out, and as you leave, you see that the worshippers of Faust are all geared up in rather uh, crude-looking armor and weapons. We no have much, but we make do. It is our faith that will guide us to victory. You should know something about that. You just see your father just kind of wince slightly. Our next target is the Archduke gravesite. That is where we shall see if all of this is real or just blasphemy. It's from here about an hour's walk. We won't need the vehicle. All right. So, as your group begins going, about an hour passes, and you finally reach the gravesite of the Archdukes, which seems to be a cavernous air, a really underground cavern, stairs going down into a well-lit area. So, the worshippers of Faust stay outside. They go, "We stay here. Keep watch. Only I come with you. Only one of you coming down. I am strongest. And besides, I want to see the look on your face when your face shatters. He just there's a quick burst of rage as your father gets close to him. If this all turns out to be nothing more than rumors and innuendo, I am going to cave your head in. Do you understand me? You'll see, my head will stay right where it is, Templar.
well, I guess the rest of you just scream if anything happens.
Alright. So, the three of you begin heading down. As you get closer, make a perception. Alright. What'd you roll? Okay. As you're going down, you begin to hear some odd music combined with chanting in a rather chanting and singing in a rather odd language.
See, we aren't alone here.
As you get closer, you finally enter a chamber where you see a bunch of ungulates playing odd devices and all chanting in front of a flame. In the one singing, what did I hang on? What did I make him? Is a